Amazing. I think we're live. So, where are you, Lewis? Where is my co-host? I'd like to see you on video as I am. I'd actually planned to do this
Actually,
right at, I'd planned to do this right at home, but my car wash people let me down and I'm already stuck here waiting for my car to be washed somewhere. But the event and the show must go on, right? So I hope you're good. Tell me, Lewis, how you doing? How's been your day? It's a chilly afternoon here, this side of uh, East Africa in Kenya. So what about you? What about you? How is it going in Makadi?
okay, I'm actually Mr. Makodi.
Uh-huh.
For me, I'm doing migration this weekend, so I've been working hard for since yesterday. I'm just running for an event right now. So
Yeah, sure. And totally understand your plate is full, and that is awesome. So we're not going to waste any time. I know Michael is so excited to have us. So I'll just take you through his bio, and I think Lewis will usher Michael in, and then we'll be able to hear what Michael has for our ace on ITSM for everybody. So let us tell you what Michael is. So Michael is an IT ops engineer and a certified Atlassian specialist. He's adept at administration, configuration, integration, and migration of Jira, Confluence, and the whole Atlassian product range. He embeds some of the best practices and also helps in terms of taking control of the entire lifecycle management in terms from initiation, planning, through to progress reporting, risk management, quality assurance, all that in order to safeguard the delivery of large-scale initiatives. Another thing is that he's very passionate about team building and community development. That is why he's here with us for these A's. And he'll tell us more. He's just told me, he says he loves to play video games in his spare time. So Michael, come on video and tell us, what is that game that you love to play? Personally, when I want to just give myself back some good time, I play FIFA. But I can say I'm good enough. I'm not as good as enough as I was in my earlier days. So, Michael, tell me, what do you do? Tell us,
Yeah,
which games do you play as you do this? Yeah.
yeah, thank you, Kevin. So like Kevin said, my name is Michael, Michael Ayeni, and I'm an Atlassian expert. I specialize in IT service management implementations. And yeah, regarding the games I play during my spare time, I play FIFA also. I can't really speak to whether I'll beat you in the game, but I'd like to give that a shot. Also,
We'll make sure you do an online one very soon.
yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
So,
Over to you. Over to you. Take it away.
yeah. So we are here today to talk about ITSM. So, oh, I currently can't share my screen.
Apologies for that. Let me give you ability. Let me make you co-host.
Yeah, no problem. So we are talking about IT service management, redefining service excellence. So I'll try to make this session as beginner friendly as possible. So I know there are some experts on here that has worked with Jira Service Management and other ITSM tools. And I know there are people here that are actually looking to understand what ITSM is as a concept and kind of understand what it has to offer them, probably their business or their company, or probably they're just a small team that are trying to start up and they're trying to get into what ITSM can actually do for them. Yeah, so I'll be bringing up my screen. Yeah, can everyone see my screen, please?
Yeah, sure.
we can.
Thank you. So, to get this started, we'll be touching on some topics. Like I said earlier, we'll dive into what ITSM is as a concept. We would mention some primary ITSM processes and discuss them. We'll talk about the traditional and modern ITSM, how they differ, how ITSM has evolved over time, the benefits that ITSM can offer your business, your company, your team. And from there, we'll progress to discuss certain misconceptions about ITSM. And then we'll talk about how you can leverage AI to redefine and kind of make your ITSM process more efficient. So from there, we'll talk about my favorite ITSM tool of choice, that's Jira Service Management, which I'm primarily specialized in. And we'll talk about what it has to offer in relation to all the preceding concepts that we would have discussed by then, and how to get started with leveraging JSM for your business. So to get started, ITSM is made up of 3 words: IT, service, management. So I want to take us aback and talk about what services and what management is. So if we understand the fundamental definition behind this concept, it will really help bring the words together and progress from there. So service in itself is just the act of helping or doing work for someone. That's the simplest definition according to Oxford Dictionary. Now we can try to relate that definition to our day-to-day life. If we are to say service is the act of helping or doing work for someone, this can range from you hiring someone to do your cleaning, like Kevin is doing right now, trying to get his car washed. He's gone there for a car washing service. So service can range from anything that involves someone executing a task or assisting you with a task. What is management? Now, management is the control and organizing of a business or the organization. Now, to bring it down to a lower level, management can refer to you being able to organize even your life. Like as a person, you need to be able to manage yourself. When you wake up in the morning, you get up, you have a certain list of tasks ahead of you for the day. You have to have a sort of system, sort of management involved to make sure that you deliver on those tasks efficiently. So this is what management is all about. Your ability to coordinate affairs regarding anything. It can be your life, it can be a project, it can be a business, whatever it is. So here we're going to talk about the main topic itself, IT service management. But before we go to that, I'd like to explain what IT services are. Because when we talk about IT means information technology. So when we talk about IT services, we are talking about services pertaining to information technology. And this generally refers to application of business and technical expertise to enable organizations in the creation, management, and optimization of business processes. So when we talk about IT services, I'm sure most of us have heard of website development. There are individuals, freelancers that offer these services. It all falls under IT services. You can be a software developer. You can be an enterprise company. You can be a generic business. What do you do? Oh, I sell goods. So how can I integrate IT services in my business to optimize my processes? That's what IT services does. So IT services can be embedded in almost any business process. We have IT services in pharmaceutical companies. We have it in the hospitals. We have it in the hospitality industry. You name it, in the manufacturing industry. We have IT services embedded at every step of any successful industry today. So moving from that, we would like to talk about IT service management. So we know the services that IT has to offer. We can kind of picture what services are involved in that process. So how do we manage these services? That's what IT service management is all about. And this simply refers to how IT teams manage end-to-end delivery of these services to customers or end users. So we are talking about if I'm, let's say I'm a web developer, IT service management for my context would be how I deliver my service from the inception, which would probably be contacting the customer that's requiring my service, down to getting the requirements for whatever delivery I have for that customer, down to building the solution based on those requirements, and whatever back and forth is in between, down to actually executing and presenting that solution, launching it for the customer. That's the end-to-end delivery of IT services to customers. That's what IT service management is all about. So in IT service management, there are some primary processes involved that I would like to talk about. The first one is the service request. And this is pretty generic. Let me just, I think we can see them on the screen. We'll talk about the service request, incident, problem management, change management, and knowledge management. I'd go in depth on each of these sequentially. So, service request management. On the screen here, we see that it includes requests for, in an ideal scenario, access to applications, software enhancement, audio updates, and whatnot. But service requests actually pertains to whatever your business process or your business services are. For, let's say, a water treatment company, for example, the sort of service requests that would be raised by the customers of such company will be different from the service requests that will be raised by, let's say, a food company. So that's the joy of ITSM. ITSM is a concept that guides you to tailor your business processes so you're able to deliver and manage the service management end to end. That's what it's about. So I know we'll talk about mostly technical or IT related terms during this session, but I'd like you to just have it at the back of your mind that regardless of whatever business you have, company or team that you're currently within, IT service management can be applied to your team or your business to make everything run smoothly and more efficiently. So in the tech space, like I mentioned, access to applications. Let's say you are working with a team and you have certain software that you make use of. Let's say you have the Adobe suite, you have name it VS Code, let's say Anaconda, you need access to certain services. The ideal scenario would be for you to go to a portal, a service portal, raise a request for that access, and that will be attended to. Software enhancements can also fall within that, or let's say hardware update. Hey, let's say I have a mouse. Probably I don't like the model, it's getting old. I want to get a replacement. I can put in a request to the respective through the respective channel to get my mouse replaced. So this is primarily what service request management is about. I'd call it the most generic process under ITSM because it covers anything that has to do with the primary service that a business offers. Here we'll talk about incident management. So incident management is a process that is set up to allow a company ideally proactively respond to unplanned events or service interruption. Now, anything that can put a stop it might be an interruption, and in extreme cases, it can actually put an halt to a business process can be considered an incident. For example, I don't know if any one of us on the call here knew about the CrowdStrike failure that happened, was that not last week? That puts the world to an halt. Yeah. So that was kind of an extreme case because CrowdStrike is a security company and they provide their services for large enterprise companies. I believe Microsoft was included, Boeing 737, Delta Airlines. So last week around Thursday, Friday, I don't know if you checked the news, but you discovered that planes were grounded. No plane could take off. The NHS, that's the health body in the UK, was affected. Their pharmaceutical backlog was affected because this very company offers their services to all these bodies that I'm talking about. So we can see that an incident can be very critical and damaging to any company if it's not well taken care of. Not just damaging in terms of customer service, it can cost a lot of money. The financial implication of the CrowdStrike failure that happened last week is running to the tune of billions of dollars. Billions of dollars. This just was for about, I believe 2 days. And believe me, billions of dollars were lost just because of that failure. So trying to manage incidents, or in an attempt to manage incidents, ITSM provides a framework for you to implement so that you can proactively respond to scenarios such as that. And it allows you to manage it in a way that you restore your service to its operational state with minimal impact to your business. Very minimal impact. So here we're talking about project management, problem management, sorry. So problem management is a process where you identify certain incidents that usually reoccur. They usually reoccur. They are very repetitive. Probably you have it logged a lot. For example, let's say you have a team or you're in a company. You discover over a certain period of time, people raise issues. Probably they're working on servers, and they raise issues that my server is getting slow. Probably the CPU's utilization is spiking. It's eating, let's say 80%. Let's say the RAM is getting consumed and they don't know why the servers are getting slow. Let's say someone raises that issue on Monday. On Tuesday, you get about 3 other people raising the same issue. On Wednesday, you have new sets of people raising the same issue as you're trying to resolve for the preceding logs. At this point, you see a pattern that this is looking like an incident that's reoccurring. That actually, at that point, tends to become a problem. It's no longer an incident. An incident can be an instance of a problem. That's, in simple terms, what an incident is, an instance of a problem. But when you have an incident reoccurring, causing issues for your business, causing issues for your processes, causing issues for your day-to-day workflow, you definitely can have that as a company. So you'd have a process in place to undo repetitive or repeating incidents. That's what problem management is for. It helps you identify and manage the causes, because now when you're aware that there's a problem, right? The next step is what's causing this? Because if you don't know what's causing it, even though you are resolving incidents that are repetitive, it tends to just keep springing up. At that point, you're like, what's the cause of this? You need to address that cause to get rid of the problem. So the process of ensuring that you properly identify and manage the causes of incidents within an IT service or your business process, that's what problem management is. Here we have change management. So there's one thing that is constant in any area of life. Any area of life, change is constant. There must be change whether you like it or not. If you're running a business, I'm sure your business processes evolve. There are probably trends in the way that your services are delivered that will change over time. So how do you make sure that your business is not left behind? Your business is able to compete with its competitors that's actually evolving with the trends. You have to have a standard procedure in place that's used for efficient and prompt handling of changes pertaining to your business or infrastructure. Because changes can be how would I call it, two-edged sword. Because changes can bring about, what do you call it, a positive outcome. For example, I have a software, we've fixed some bugs, we've added new features, we want to roll out that change. That's a change, right? I think that's actually one of the issues that led to the CrowdStrike failure. See, so bad change management can lead to incidents, catastrophic incidents. If you roll out, let's say, a bad update for your software, website, or application, you see the case where people will say, oh, I updated my iOS to the latest version. Now it's freezing. Now my screen is glitching, just a little bug here and there. With time, obviously, the company would attend to those and fix it up. But in extreme cases, it can be catastrophic. In the video game world, there was this video game, I'm trying to remember the name, Cyberpunk 2077. That game was in development for about a decade. It was one of the biggest projects by the studio that produced that game, CD Projekt Red. One of the biggest projects there after they delivered The Witcher. They tried to roll out that video game. After 10 years, they rolled it out and it was extremely catastrophic. Extremely catastrophic. The game was buggy. The fans, the people that purchased the game, asking for refunds. Point is, change management is very critical to your process. You need to be able to undo your changes properly. If not, the other side of it is recurring incidents. You have lots of problems raised. It can get messy really fast. Here we have knowledge management. So knowledge management is simply creating, sharing, and utilizing knowledge and information within your ecosystem. If you are a water treatment company, your knowledge will be around the services and solutions that you offer. If you are an hospitality business, probably you're a motel, hotel, whatnot, your knowledge for your services would be involved in your knowledge management. So knowledge management is you being able to adequately manage information that can help make your business run smoothly for both your employees and customers. When customers need information regarding your business, they should be able to go to a central source of truth and get all the details they need. And also your employees, when they are doing their day-to-day work and they need certain information to actually help them expedite processes, they need to have also a source of truth to go to review knowledge and information, a kind of knowledge repository for the company. So when they go there, they're able to pick what they need and utilize that and progress their day-to-day workflow. So yeah, I'd like to quickly talk about the traditional ITSM. So ITSM has evolved over time. In its initial state, ITSM was traditionally pertaining to more of technology solutions. It was just involving delivery of IT services, your normal tech support. I'm sure some of us have had a cause to probably raise an issue with any vendor, any tech vendor, probably via chat, via call, reaching out to tech support, maybe via a portal, you raise a ticket if they have that kind of platform. It had the incident management. It has the change management, the infrastructure maintenance part of it. So traditional ITSM catered for most of the primary processes that we've discussed. And it caters to the needs of, like I said, the IT department, focusing on technology-related tasks majorly. That was what traditional ITSM was intended for. But over time, this has evolved to become something much larger that we get into in a bit. So looking at modern ITSM has become broader and they are taking a more holistic approach. So if you're looking at a company now, you'd see they have portals for every aspect of their business, not just the IT. They have service management involved in their HR process, be it their onboarding process, offboarding process. Probably an employee wants to change their position. The employee is changing status at work. They have the facilities involved in modern ITSM via asset management, that's the ITAM, IT asset management. They have the legal part involved. In other words, modern ITSM It's a broader version. In other terms, some will call it ESM, Enterprise Service Management, but that's for large-scale business. Modern ITSM can also apply to a small business. You don't have to be, let's say, 200 employees or a team of 200 people or a team of 50. When you are just 10, maybe you have a team of 10, you can implement some of these ideologies in your process, and believe me, they will provide astounding results. So modern ITSM ensures service delivered is centered around customer and end user experience, and not just delivering the traditional process of ITSM, this service management and incident management in its generic form. Modern ITSM is trying to drive business value. It's focused more on the business value for the customer and end user experience. So I'd like to say traditional ITSM is more reactive, but with modern ITSM, you tend to be more proactive. So here are some benefits of ITSM. We have it enabling cross-team collaboration. It's easy for your teams to collaborate if you're a company of multiple teams. Let's say you have your business analytics team, you have your SAP team. Let's say you have some enterprise resource planning teams, or you have a logistic team. It can be any team. Let's say you are a company that is involved in logistics. You can have your logistics team. You can have partners, vendors that you partner with, that they're a team. It ensures seamless collaboration between multiple teams. It also empowers these teams to share knowledge and continuously improve. So knowledge sharing between multiple teams and visibility between those teams is way more easier when ITSM is in the mix. Also, like I said, you're able to respond more quickly to major incidents, and also, like I said, proactively prevent future ones from occurring. And it also promotes customer centricity. Customer centricity. When we are talking about service management, let's take it down to the business level. If you're a customer, you require a service, you'd want to feel important. Customers like to believe that whatever they want or whatever everyone is doing for them revolves around them. At least they want that idea. That's why a customer will enter a mall and want to get something. And if the attendant is a bit negligent, customers flare up. Hey, I'm here patronizing you. What's going on? ITSM takes the traditional service management, at least the modern ITSM, and makes it a bit customer centralized, customer focused. Also, it reduces operations costs and improves service delivery via automations. So there are certain processes in businesses that are kind of manual, they are mundane, and they can easily be automated. They can be eliminated. When automation is in the mix, it reduces operation cost by alleviating some manual tasks from your team, your employees, your business process, and allow your resource, your assets, your employees focus on other tasks to generate more value for your company or your business. For example, let's say I have a process to onboard, let's say, users manually. I'll probably go into the platform that we onboard our users, and I'll have to type in that user detail and, do all that after probably having provided the info. Let's say that whole process to onboard users into every system that we provide takes about, let's say I'm the one in charge, it takes about 3 hours. If some of those processes can be automated, it can take about, not necessarily all the process away from me, but let's say 70% of the process is taken away. The onboarding or offboarding process is automated. That way, I have more time to focus on other tasks and generate more value. So ITSM provides reduction in operation cost. So before we move on, I would like to talk about common misconceptions. So we've talked about some of the things that ITSM can offer you as a business, as a company, or as a team. But there are certain misconceptions that people have. They have this idea that once you get a very solid ITSM tool, it can solve all their problems. Now, tools are what they are, right? They are tools. The efficiency of a tool depends on the people utilizing that tool. So yeah, you have got a great tool on your hands. Let's say you have Jira Service Management, for example. You have a very capable tool on your hands. But there are certain things that need to be fixed or certain factors that need to be considered to ensure that that tool is maximally utilized. And all your problems will just go away overnight. It's a process, right? If you get a tool, you have to find a way to integrate into your process and grow from there. It takes time. It won't magically just disappear your problems overnight. Like we mentioned earlier, we said that ITSM provides automation of processes. Now, people tend, from my experience, actually, personal experience, when certain clients see that they can actually take some manual process and automate it, they start digging deep into how they can virtually automate, if they can, all their processes. They want to take everything away. Can we automate this? Oh, this part, can we automate this too? Can we do this? Now, yes, we can automate or directly automate a lot of process. But in most case scenarios, you can't automate all processes. That's why we still need employees. That's why we still need people. Right? Automation is just meant to take off certain automatable tasks. There are certain tasks that you still need people in the middle to do. So there's the conception that once I get a tool, the tool will do everything for me. The people really matter less. This is not true. If you have, let me give a scenario. If you install an application, let's say Photoshop, and you hire a graphics designer that is subpar, it's not really good at his craft, how that engineer or graphic designer would utilize Photoshop would be low or less than how an expert or someone that is very conversant with that tool will utilize it. So the point is, you need people that knows what they're doing and is willing to learn how to utilize that tool maximally behind the wheel. So regardless of any tool you get, any tool, be it Zendesk, Asana, any tool you get, you need the right people behind the wheel. Because when you have the wrong people behind the wheel, the very first problem that would make everything just go sideways is the adoption problem. Because whatever tool you get, you need these people, you need whoever is going to be using it, whether it's your team, your employees, your business partners, whoever is going to be using it, you need them to be able to adopt this. They need to want to see the benefit of using this or how it benefit them or make their life easier. Without that in the mix, all you have is a tool and you'll be complaining that they said ITSM would solve my problem. What's going on? It's actually making things worse. Probably people are not even going that way. They're not using the tool and the existing process has been scrapped. You find yourself in a conundrum, a very messy conundrum. Another misconception is that ITSM can be configured and forgotten. Let's say, hey, I've deployed Jira Service Management. Now it's done. We leave it there. We don't do any updates. We don't make any changes. Nothing is done. And yeah, Kevin, people, they tend to forget the people. Yeah, so if ITSM tools are configured and forgotten, what do you have? Eventually, when changes to your business process come, like I said, change is constant, the tool won't be able to keep up. You're going to find yourself stuck in between processes. And like I said, in ITSM, if you are not agile or you're not willing to continually improve, which is the solution to that misconception, you're going to find yourself in a very tight situation. So when you configure an ITSM tool, it's a continuous process. Your business processes change all the time. You need to be able to refactor, you need to be able to review your processes and change the tool to fit those changes or alignment. Yeah, I think we already talked about all of this. Yeah, here I add this quote here that directly automating manual processes can cause issues and may require process redesign. So directly just trying to automate all your manual processes. There are some processes that you can directly automate. They are pretty simple processes, but there are certain processes that if you don't do a process redesign, you have to change how that process is internally. So your ITSM tool can come in and make that process efficient. You just have issues. Like I said, issues is what you don't want. You can have incidents, you can have problems, you can have a very inconsistent workflow between teams, collaboration is impaired. A lot can go wrong when automation is done badly. So from there, we are asking what's next. So we've talked about service request management. We've talked about incident management. We've talked about problem management. We've talked about the core primary processes involved in ITSM. So what's next with ITSM? Where is ITSM headed? Or where are some people currently are with ITSM? Here we have artificial intelligence, or in our context, Atlassian intelligence. So with the advent of AI, we see artificial intelligence being embedded in every tool, trying to make it more efficient. So we have on the left side here the current state of most ITSM processes. We can see that they are portal-centric. Customers are usually necessitated to raise tickets on the portal. While on the right side there, the desired state is to have it people-centric. You have to focus on your customers, end users. So here we have employees on, let's say, internal communication platforms. From there, they can interact, raise tickets, have AI help them out with some of their questions, rather than just going to a ticket, to a portal, and raising a ticket. We can see the second column there talking about ticket-based support. This follows the linear process of, hey, I'm raising a ticket, it's logged. On the agent side or the person that's responding to tickets, they only see that in a queue. But where some businesses are, or some advanced, some people that are advanced in the ITSM journey, like I said, ITSM is a journey. Some people are still at the preliminary stages. Most people are currently in the current state, but some people have evolved. They've moved on to the next level. They are leveraging business and end user context to foster meaningful interaction. So they don't just want you to go there, raise a ticket. No, you can go on chats, ask questions, you have conversations, and from there, meaningful context is utilized from the user to properly triage what they actually want or the problem or request they actually have. So we talked about knowledge management. We have knowledge bases. We have keyword-based KB. This is a bit technical for those of us that are not so technical in the house. So a lot of service management platforms use keyword-based KB to do a bit of self-service on portals. But with AI, artificial intelligence is more of a conversational experience, like I said earlier. It accesses knowledge base or past instances where an issue was resolved over chat or whatever means the setup utilizes, and allows the customer, it has a conversation. I'm sure as a customer, if you have an issue, you prefer to have someone relating back and forth with you in real time, compared to me logging a ticket and waiting for, well, I hope they attend to my ticket in time. I hope they send a comment to confirm they've received, things like that. Also, the traditional, the current state, I wouldn't want to call it traditional in this case, but the current state of most ITSM tools, they focus on IT support relief. They want to relieve the IT teams, incident management, problems are getting resolved, incidents are getting resolved, they are getting relieved. But it doesn't really, like I said earlier, address the adoption problem. But people or other IT service management enthusiasts, they are utilizing it to actually focus on operational excellence. Here, they are solving the adoption problem by putting their customers at the center of everything they do. Like I said, customer-centric. That's where ITSM is headed. Everything they are doing right now, when you're customer-centric, you're driving business value. So the current state, aimed at your normal generic ITSM delivery, but where some companies are, or the desired state for anyone that wants to embark on their ITSM journey, the desired state is for you to be able to, like I said, drive business value, business success, minimize friction between your IT and end user, and maximize productivity. between both parties. So I'll be talking about my favorite tool of choice, Jira Service Management. Jira Service Management is the enterprise service management tool provided by Atlassian. And everything we've covered since the start of this session, the service management, incident management, problem management, change management, knowledge-based management, Jira Service Management provides all these features. Now, even some of the desired states that we have here, that we say some of our ITSM tools should be able to leverage on, Jira Service Management provides all these features. So quickly, I'd like to go through what Jira Service Management offers. I can see we are running out of time and we need to have a Q&A session after this. So Jira Service Management is easy to set up and easy to use. Unlike certain enterprise or large-scale service management platforms, ServiceNow and the likes, BNC, they are quite complicated setting them up. Unlike Jira Service Management, pretty easy to set up, easy to get going and launch. Now, Jira Service Management seamlessly integrates with other Atlassian tools. Peradventure, your team already makes use of, let's say, Jira and Confluence. You can leverage on JSM to have your customer tickets or your service or customer management team integrate with your dev team. So let's say an issue, an incident was raised on the portal, it was received by your IT services team. They will easily be able to refer that issue to the dev team and have that resolved easily. It integrates well with other tools. Confluence is also one of them. It makes use of Confluence as a KB, your knowledge base, like we said earlier. This can be used on the portal to deflect tickets, a bit of self-service there. It also seamlessly integrates with communication platforms. We have Slack, be it Teams. You can have GSM integrate with all these platforms, and your team, your internal customers can easily have issues addressed right within their chatting platform. Also, it leverages AI, Atlassian Intelligence, on portals for self-service. So Atlassian Intelligence is now available on Jira Service Management portals to help customers address their issues if it's already a known issue, or if it's a request that can be taken care of themselves. It will suggest and guide them on how they can achieve that without actually having to log a ticket. Also, within the chat platforms, it leverages what we call the virtual agent for customer-centric end-user experience. Remember the conversational experience we talk about under the modern ITSM? JSM offers that via virtual agent. So you don't actually need to go to a portal. You can just ask a question. Oh, I'm having this issue. You can send that on your chat and the virtual agent will pick that up. If there's an article in the KB that addresses that, it will provide it for you. If there are other questions that the agent needs to help you automatically log a ticket with the right channel, it will ask you those questions and have everything in place and have everything logged. So GSM offers artificial intelligence or virtual agent in this case to help you achieve your customer-centric end-user experience. So with everything we've said, you might be wondering, how do I give GSM a go? If I'm to get started with GSM, how do I even get started? So you can go online, search Jira Service Management, install it, give it a go. But ideally, you might not know how to get started because this is a service management platform. You might not know how to have it configured or tailored to your personal business process, your team's personal process. So to have that in place, the best way to get started is to consult with verified Atlassian partners. Let these people come in, review your process, review your business, and have the tool work for you. Let them configure the tool for you to fit your personal or your personal business design. So you don't just go in blind and try to see how we can have this going. And, like I said, if ITSM is not configured or tailored properly, it can actually lead to more problems than solutions. But with ITSM that is properly configured, believe in me, you would witness a surge of effectiveness and efficiency that you probably could not have imagined. Thank you very much. I believe I'm out of time. If any one of us have any question, I believe this is the time to ask.
Amazing, amazing. I think I'll let Lewis take it through for us for the Q&A as I also drive back home. Yeah, awesome. Lewis, over to you.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you for the session. That's quite engaging and enlightening. Yeah, so if you have your question, please just you can raise your hand and like to speak or simply put them out in the chat.
Okay, I can see Sarah raised her hand. You can ask your question.
Okay, thank you. This is not a question actually. I just wanted to say a very big well done to Michael. The breakdown of ITSM was spot on, and you've been able to analyze the expansive reach of ITSM. So now I get that it is no longer just about IT, rather it is about elevating service delivery across our board. That was quite nice. Well done.
Yeah, thank you for the feedback. That is taken well. Thank you very much. So any question from anyone?
Well done, Michael. I actually enjoyed the session, every bit of it. But then I want to ask, can incidents be totally eradicated?
Okay, let me try to understand your question. Can incidents be totally eradicated?
Yes.
So you're talking about a scenario where incidents are no longer occurring at all?
Something like that.
So in an ideal world, honestly, incidents are inevitable. The biggest companies in the world with the best teams, best securities, they still have their occasional incidents come up. That's why incident management is in place, because we know it's inevitable. So what any company or any business should aim to have is a process that handles incidents when they do occur, because this is what is going to really help your business. When they come up, if you have a process to handle them with minimal impact to your business, you're good to go. Trust me, the best companies in the world, they have their occasional incidents. So it can't be completely eradicated, but it can be proactively responded to.
All right.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Buluwaji. Any other question?
Hello, nice presentation. So I wanted to know, in situations where you have like something that happens like CloudStrike, for example, where it went down, what happens if you as a GSM operator, the GSM goes down? Are there alternatives, or is there like an offline way of managing such incidents? GSM, I just wanted to know.
Yeah, that's actually a very good question. So for a platform, okay, use GSM as an example. Let's say GSM is down. So I'm guessing you're asking, is there an alternative way for customers to probably reach out for support?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so yes, in an ideal world, you don't want just one source for reaching out to your customers. GSM might be your primary platform, but you want other means. It can be via, let's say you have a line, phone call. Like for example, you have banks, some of them have portals, but still you can send a mail. They have that option, just in case, like you said, anything happens and you still need to reach out for support regarding issues. But just to speak to GSM, it's on an extreme case you see the platform itself going down. So honestly, that kind of incident, we don't want to see that happen. It hasn't happened, and but yeah, like you said, no business should have only one source of incident resolution or ticket platform, or ways for customers to reach out to your business. Does
Thank
that
you
answer
very
your
much.
question? Yeah, thank you.
All right, thanks for the contribution and questions.
Okay, I see Nimrod
Okay,
raised his hand.
all right.
Hello, Michael. Good presentation. That's a compliment coming from me. But I had a question
Thank you.
on how do you measure the effectiveness of ITSM practices? How do we measure the success of some of these practices?
Okay, so that will take us in depth into some other concepts within ITSM. So we have things called SLAs, Service Level Agreement, and we have concepts such as MTTR, Mean Time to Resolution. So these are all metrics, right, used to measure the efficiency of the ITSM platform. So SLAs are service level agreements, like I said. For example, you can have an SLA to track the time that your agents take to respond to tickets. You can have an SLA that measures the time that your agents take to resolve a ticket. And overall, you can see the total number of resolved tickets over a particular period of time. So we have all these metrics in place for you to actually have a quantifiable measure on the efficiency and effectiveness of your platform. Does that answer your question?
Yes, that answers my question.
Yeah, and to add to that, in all organizations, the key performance metric, the KPI, is usually different. Most IT companies have the common KPIs, but it might be different depending on your company. And depending on this, you can have your SLAs and whatnot set up to actually track progress. So, yeah. Thank you, Nimrod. Are there any more questions?
I have one more for you, Michael. I can't leave this year before asking you one question. So my final question,
Yeah.
as I think we wrap this up, is you've really talked about Atlassian intelligence, and you've also mentioned about knowledge bases. So I'm just trying to connect these two things. Is it possible to maybe have, like, let's say you can train an IT, because you want to automate, right? You don't want to be always answering manually all your customers. How can we leverage AI so that maybe someone can just, whether it is generative AI, whether it's a true bot, whether it's a chatting system, whatever it is, how can we train these systems, these AI systems, so that they can answer questions as good as a human being would? Can Atlassian intelligence be trained or what? Yeah, over to you.
So yeah, so to an extent, right? Any AI tool will be provided a certain data set to consume, and based on whatever data set has been provided, it will be able to provide solutions to people's questions and issues. So regarding Atlassian intelligence, it learns on the job, just like most platform. Once you have it on your platform, let's say Confluence on GSM, it tracks incidents or issues that your customers raise. And with time, is able to also dig into your KB, which is Confluence, and prefer solutions to lots of requests that users will raise on the platform. So yes, Atlassian intelligence can be taught.
Amazing.
It learns.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome. Just thought about it. Any tips in terms of making your knowledge base? Sometimes these AI systems, they leverage on the quality of data, the quality of the things that you're putting in your knowledge base, and how you're putting up your systems. Any tips from yourself as an expert on how to make your knowledge base effective enough for any AI training or something?
So yeah, the knowledge base is actually a crucial part. of ITSM, a very crucial part. A lot of people tend to ignore it actually, but it's a very crucial part. You have to be intentional about it. You have to have a standard as a team or organization for the articles that will be on your knowledge base. You might actually, let's say, limit article creation to certain number of individuals, so you are sure that there's a consistency in the quality of articles being documented in your KB, because this is what the intelligence will feed on. This is what virtual agents will feed on. So you can't just have, unless there's a discipline across board among your team. If you have just anyone going there and just document articles in a very shabby way, like I said, you are what you eat, right? There's a saying that says you are what you eat. If you feed the system with subpar content, it's going to prefer subpar content to people's issues that probably won't even resolve them. So you don't want your KB set up in a very trashy way. So my advice is you have to be intentional and make sure that there's quality content in your KB. It determines how self-service will be done, how the intelligence, artificial intelligence would respond to your customers.
Thank you, Michael.
Does that answer the question? Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much. Perfectly.
Yeah.
All right, then since almost this is 2 minutes past for my time. Thank you very much, Michael, for finding time to join us today and leading us in a great session.
Thank you for having me.
As well. I'm glad to join you. I'm going to see you soon next time. And then just to mention, we also have a series of workshops coming up around ITSM. So there are lots of them and many more things to benefit from. So I think the session is already live on YouTube, and we send those events news after with the link. So who gets to follow up and see it. So till come your way next time, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Say bye from us. Okay, Sandra has something to say. Please go ahead.
Hi, Michael. Thanks a lot for your this. Really, it is very good and very knowledgeable to understand what is ITSM, how it is, and the modern and the old one. So that is very nice. So I would like to know: is there any session on AI functionalities, how it works in a Jira ITSM? That is there any expectation of a one more session on the AI related things in JSM?
I think I'll let Kevin or Louis speak to that.
Okay. So we as we are I'm working as a Jira administrator. So I would like to know how the AI functionalities works in a Jira ITSM, the best way how we can provide the solutions to the customer and the process and everything. So that I would like to know the AI functionalities and integrations with the JSM.
Okay, so you're asking if there's going to be a session that's going to talk about those, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I'd expect there'll be one probably in the future.
Already, if there is any session, please share the recording with us. Or if
No
it is
problem.
not there, we are expecting probably.
No problem.
Okay, so sorry, just to answer that. Okay, since for some of you, you might not be registered in the communities, either with Macaulay or Mary. I think the best way to catch up is just register with the community. Then every meetup that comes up, you will notify by email for every event that's going to be posted. So when we have such things, you won't miss out, even if you don't maybe reach out to you personally. Once there's an event coming up, you receive a notification in your email. So if you didn't register before, just try to register in all the communities, and then several events comes up next, you get the notification by email. I think that was it. And of course, if you didn't register, I will not be able to send you after this event because we don't have your details. So just sign up and the community that's and then we get our email after this. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So this is going to be on August 7th?
Yeah, we have more events coming up. We just have to find time. Okay. Yeah.
Sure. Thank you so much, Lewis. Just to mention, this was a co-hosted event. We co-organized it as ACE leaders for Atlassian Makadi and Atlassian Meru. And we're going to be having more events coming up. Also, as you can see, we have a lot of interest in terms of Atlassian intelligence and how to better serve our customers. So thank you so much for the feedback. You're going to get, if you'd already gotten the RSVP, you're going to get a post-event survey. Feel free to share and give us any kind of positive feedback. You can also respond to the email that you got, and we'll be happy to get to know what is your next topic, and we'll organize we'll organize and get a speaker, or maybe even have Michael come in again on another topic, and we'll be happy. So thank you so much. I know
Thank
we
you.
are over
Thank you.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sandy.
Yeah.
So we're just a minute over time. We already started at 5 up after the hour in the previous hour. So unless Lewis, you have anything, or Michael, any parting shot before we close the session?
Yeah, I just want to say a quick thank you to everyone for staying the entire session. And thank you, Kevin and Louis, for having me.
You're welcome, and thank you so much. We are also very humbled to have you. That was a properly prepared presentation, and we thank you so much for the dedication. Yeah, it was like awesome. And you're going to also share the link. As a wrap-up, you're going to also share the recording. And I believe maybe you have a PDF version of your slides, Michael. You can also share and you'll be able to share with the attendees. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Lewis, yes, awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Sandy.
Yeah.
Lisa, Lewis, anything before we wrap it up?
Yeah, nothing from my end. Bye, everyone.